Let me interrupt you because we have breaking news on Arizona and immigration, and stay with us for a minute. We're going to bring in Pete Williams with the report. What did the federal judge rule, Pete?
Okay, the federal judge, Andrea, and I'm just looking at it right now, but it appears to me that she has put a hold on the most controversial part of the law. This is the section that requires officers to make a reasonable attempt when practical to determine someone's immigration status when they stop them for a traffic stop or an arrest. The judge has enjoined the state from enforcing that section. She's also enjoined them from enforcing a section that makes it a state law in Arizona, creates a brand new state law that says you have to carry your federal immigration documents. And she has also enjoined a part of the state law that puts new restrictions on drivers from driving around and picking up people to do work if they suspect that they're illegal immigrants, and also a part of the law that seemed to concern the judge a lot during oral argument that allows the police to make an arrest without an arrest warrant upon, as the law says, upon probable cause that the person to be arrested has committed any public offense that makes the person removable from the United States. So this is pretty much what we thought, that she would uphold the law in part and strike it down in part. But she has put in an order for now stopping the state, meaning that they cannot enforce this when the law goes into effect tomorrow. The most controversial part of this, which is the part that required police in Arizona to inquire into the immigration status of anybody that they reasonably suspected was in the country illegally. Now, Andrea, I've just gotten the decision. That's the bottom line. As we usually do in court decisions, we go to the end to see what the practical effect is. But now, what the judge basically says here, Andrea, is that she agrees with the federal government's argument that if Arizona were to carry out this scheme that it came up with in the legislature, this package of laws, that it would, in fact, preempt federal law and cause some additional problems for people who are here legally. What she says is requiring police in Arizona to determine the immigration status of every person who is arrested, I'm quoting from the decision now, burdens lawfully present aliens, that's the legal term for people from outside the country who are not U.S. citizens, because their liberty will be restricted while their status is checked. Given the large number of people who are technically arrested but never booked into jail or perhaps even taken to the police station, detention time for this category of arrestee will certainly be extended. And she says basically it's kind of open-ended. And she says requiring these people to prove their immigration status to the satisfaction of state authorities will unnecessarily burden them, including some United States citizens who she says will be swept up in this. And she second agrees with what the federal government has argued from the beginning here, that what Arizona wants to do is try to sweep up more potential people who are here illegally and get the federal government to check that. The Justice Department has argued that that will divert enforcement resources from what the government thinks is the big problem, which is people here who are criminal aliens who represent a danger to the government. The judge says the increase in the number of requests for immigration status is likely to burden the federal government, will divert resources from the government's response, and therefore is preempted. Now, one other thing, Andrea. The judge here who wrote this decision, Susan Bolton, is a former county judge in Arizona. She's been there a long time. She understands the problem and the politics in Arizona, and she says toward the end of this decision that she by no means disregards Arizona's interest in controlling illegal immigration and addressing the problems of crime that the trafficking of illegal immigration causes. But she says even though Arizona's interests may be consistent with those of the federal government, it's not in the public interest for Arizona to enforce preempted laws. So to sum up, Andrea, she has not struck the whole law down, but she has struck down the most controversial part, requiring that Arizona police determine the immigration status of everybody they think is reasonable reasonably think is here illegally that they find when they make arrests or traffic stops. She has struck down the new requirement, or I shouldn't say struck down. She has put a preliminary hold on these provisions that creates a crime in Arizona for failing to carry your federally required registration papers. She is putting a hold on the part that makes it a crime for somebody who's not authorized to be here to seek work. And she's put a hold on this rather open-ended part of the law that allowed warrantless arrests of people that a policeman thought might have committed an offense that would make them removable from the U.S. The rest of the law she has not interfered with. The parts of the law that allow people to sue if they think that Arizona police agencies are not fully enforcing the law. Changes to the crime of human smuggling that makes it a crime for you to drive along in your car and stop traffic to try to pick up people who might be illegal aliens to come and work for you. All of the rest of the law can go ahead and be enforced. So come tomorrow, Arizona can enforce some of this law, but not the most controversial part of this law.